Hey everyone, it's Diana from Adventures with Art, and today we are talking about copying and pasting in Procreate and everything you can do with it. But before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. Keep coming back to Adventures with Art for more Procreate tips, art tips in general, and how to make money with your art, which is always a great thing. Another thing I want to point out is that there is a free trial for Skillshare down in the show notes. Skillshare is where I first learned how to use Procreate, and it was a game changer in setting a really strong foundation for me in how to use Procreate. They have classes from beginning to advanced, and if you're looking for something that is a more structured, in-depth class about this amazing software, I really do suggest checking that out. Okay, so to get started, my little artist egg friend here is going to help us. And the first thing I want to point out is that there are two ways to access the copy and paste settings. The first is if you click on the wrench here, down at the bottom, you will see the copy and paste buttons. You also can use a shortcut, which is to take 3 fingers and swipe down quickly on your iPad screen, just like this. As you can see, it is a little finicky and it's really easy to accidentally draw lines, which then makes it not so much of a shortcut because you are erasing accidental lines that you've drawn. So just practice with it. I've practiced with it a ton and I still draw lines on my screen all the time. So I tend to prefer the wrench option because of that. All right, let's talk about how do you copy and paste one single layer. So if we click out of that screen, the first thing you want to make sure of is that you have your layer selected that you want to copy and paste. It will copy and paste whichever one you have selected in blue there. Next, you are going to choose your copy and paste preferred method. I'm going to go up to the wrench. I'm going to click copy, and then I'm going to click paste. And as you can see, I have a new little layer there. It will create an image when it does that. So it's not actually a layer, it is technically an image, and it will create it right above the layer. That will come into play and be important very soon. But just keep that in mind for now, that it is an image right above your layer. Let's delete that guy. Let's say that I want to copy my entire design. I want 2 little artist eggs here. What do I do? Let's click on the wrench and then click copy canvas. And then you're going to hit paste. And as you can see, I have 2 layers, but my background is copied as well. Now, this can be a problem because if I want to have these guys really close to each other, the background is going to cover him. And that's not too great. So what do we do about that? Let's delete this one. What we're going to do is we are going to uncheck the background. That's going to create a transparent image, which now eliminates the background as a problem. So go on up to your wrench, click on copy canvas, click on paste, and as you can see, now we have 2 little egg guys, no background, no problem. Come back in here, check the background, and the background is back again. So that is a way you can copy everything while avoiding copying the background and having that extra hurdle. An important thing to note is that if you copy your entire design, it will insert it as an image. As I mentioned, this is important because it will not create individual layers. As you can see, my original drawing had a bunch of different layers. And so, I could go back into individual layers and change things without changing the rest of the image. That's not the case once it's only one static image. Essentially, when you copy your entire design, it merges all your layers together and that's what it reproduces. So if that's going to be a problem, if you want the freedom to go back into individual layers and change things, what I would suggest is actually copying and pasting your layers individually. So that way you have separate copies of every single layer of your design. If you're not worried about that, you can then go ahead and duplicate the entire thing like we just demonstrated. But do be aware that it creates a static image that is essentially all of your layers merged together. All right, so let's delete our little copy here. Now let's talk about if you want to copy and paste your design onto a completely different canvas. This is a really cool thing that Procreate can do. and it makes it really handy for creating copies of your work. Here's what you're going to do. We're going to uncheck our background just so that we're not copying over our background. Come back in here, same steps as before. You're going to click copy canvas. And then we are going to go back to our gallery and we are going to navigate to whatever canvas we now want to paste onto. So we have a new canvas here. I'm going to click on the wrench and I'm going to click paste. And we now have a totally new design on this new canvas. So that can be really handy for moving elements back and forth between different canvases. You can also just do that in individual layers as well. So if I just want this one layer to transfer over, I can click the copy just as I did before, come over here, click paste, and now I have just that one layer. This can be really handy, especially if you're doing like illustrations for books and you want to have the basic structure of your character transferred over, but you know, it's going to be in a different position or wearing different clothes or something like that. This can be a really, really handy tool to be able to use. All right, so I hope that was helpful and now you feel empowered to use all of Procreate's great copy and paste features. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, grab that free trial to Skillshare to learn even more about Procreate, and please keep coming back to Adventures with Art. I will see you next time.